Hello everyone and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're flying the Spitfire Mark 9, the F Mark 9 Tier 3 as part of the My Favourite Plane series. I feel like originally I said I was going to do a Typhoon 1B video, but so I looked through the stats that I've had on them and, you know, kill to death ratio and stuff, and it looks like I've flown this more, and really of choice I would probably choose to fly this. I think I did try to fly the Typhoon, but I just I don't think I liked it as much as I enjoyed flying this, so I thought I'll just do the Mark 9 because I personally prefer Spitfires above most things. I mean, I love the Typhoon, it's like a really nice aircraft, but I have flown the Spitfire Mark 9s more than the Typhoon, so I do know it more and I do know how to fly them better. So I thought it would just make for a better video in general. Sadly, this game wasn't won. I'm not really going to talk about the battle as much as I am just going to talk about the plane. But yeah, sadly we didn't actually win this battle. Ended up being just me at the end, and I'd gone back to land, so I took off, and then there was two I-16s coming at me. Which, I mean, the ones with 20 mils are just brutally deadly, because yeah, they've got two 20 mils and they're Russian, so I know from experience that they are really good, and I used to love flying mine back in the day. So yeah, the Mark 9, I mean, everyone knows the Mark 9s for climbing. Not so much the F, mostly the LF Mark 9. So, like, you know, you'll be going in a game, you'll be in your BF-109, you'll think, oh, I've climbed high enough, being at like 5 or 6k, and then with that you see a Spitfire Mark 9 pop up, and it's, you know, 3 kilometers above you, and in the exact same time, and you sort of think, what the fuck? And, I mean, it is insanely good, I have to say. Like, I do love the fact that it climbs as well as it does, because it helps it, you know, be able to, you know, use it to, you know, its flight mechanisms to its advantage, because it's not great at high speed, so being at high altitude, using its turning as an advantage is always quite a good thing, I find. And they're shown, I like the guns on it, the two Mark II Hispanos and the Mark and the 7.7s. I know that in my other videos I said I don't like the Mark II Hispanos, but it seems like with the right planes they work. So on Spitfires I never seem to have much issue, but I don't know whether maybe it's just because I've got the planes fully upgraded. But I do prefer using the other ones, because sometimes they just seem more effective. I don't know. I think it all depends on the server you're on, really. Because in this I'm on EU servers, so I get good ping. Whereas sometimes if I'm on Russian or US servers, I get higher ping, so it doesn't work as well. But yeah, so this video so far, I think I've got 1 kill, so that's a bonus. But yeah, so the Mark 9 as well, among climbing well, it can also cruise once it's at altitude at a fairly good speed. You can see there I'm going about 490, and I mean, that was with a shallow dive, but it's still quite good. And this is only the F Mark 9 as well, so it's not as good as the LF Mark 9, which is a lot better. But the only thing again is, it's kind of like the Mark II Spitfire, it tops out at a very low speed of about 700 max before you really are pushing it and going to rip your wings off. But here it's showing that it is faster than the P63, even though that is turning or going in a level flight, it's still catching quite quickly, and it doesn't struggle at all with that. But I wasted a lot of ammo on him, which that's not the plane's fault, that's mine. But yeah, so you can see it's diving. I mean, I'm going 680, and it seems very consistent. Like, it's not at the point of shakiness, and it's not going to, you know, snap in half. it is very solid until you get up to 700, and then it just, you know, you've gone too fast then. The only Spitfires that really can go above that is the later Mark 1s, like 14 and onwards. The Mark 16 can't, but that's a lot like the Mark 9. It's not great with high speeds. But the Mark 14, 18, I think the 18, I've not really used the 18, but I'm going to guess the 18, 22 and 24, they can all go a lot faster, but they have much more powerful engines, so it's kind of expected. But so yeah, I like how the Mark 9 looks. My favourite ones to see in real life probably are Mark 9s, of the Merlin variants, that is. Up at Goodwood here we always get Mark 9s. The 2-seat that's always based here, SM520, is the T9 or TR9. So that's Mark 9. There's a single speed RR323, which is also based at Goodwood, which is a Mark 9. Then there's, you know, we get the occasional other one. There's PV202, which is a 2-seater one that comes down. That's also a Mark 9. The other day we had a Mark 8 here, which is extraordinarily rare. But I noticed on that had a retractable tail wheel, unlike the Mark 9s, or at least the Mark 9s I see. But I just think the Mark 9s to watch display as well are some of the best, because, you know, they're fast, they're very manoeuvrable, they're fairly light still at that point. They haven't got the big Griffin engines in, so they're fairly light, and they just sound amazing. I think the Mark 9s of all of them sound the best in my opinion. That's just a personal thing. I know that other people are going to be like the Mark 1s sound best, or Mark 5s, but it's all just personal preference. I find the Mark 1s sound a bit too much like a Hurricane. It's still a nice noise, but it's just, it doesn't roar, and it's not quite as loud as the Mark 9 is, I don't find. So I feel like when you're watching one display, it's sort of, you have to be quite close to really appreciate it in a very quiet environment. Whereas, you know, a lot of air shows, it's quiet, like Duxford air shows, it will be fairly quiet, the crowd won't be talking. But others, like if you go to Bournemouth or Eastbourne or something, you've got the sound of the sea, the sound of families, the sound of fun fairs, and you can't really appreciate the sound of the engine unless it's a louder Mark 9 or say a Mustang with a Merlin, because they're so much louder. I mean, I'm used to hearing Mark 9s honestly, because where I live I hear them near enough daily in the summer, till from March till probably November is when they stop flying them, and they go in for winter servicing. But yeah, I think the later Mark 9s really have a great purr to them, and they sound, in my opinion, just amazing. Probably the best sounding engine in the world. Some people will disagree with me. It's just everyone's personal preference. Like, I mean, by saying that, I do literally mean like of everything: cars, bikes, planes. Honestly, I think the Spitfire in general just is one of the best sounding planes, things ever. Even better than a Nissan Skyline. Yeah. I know they're different leagues, different cylinders and everything, but you know, I do love the sound of the V12 Merlin. It's honestly just one of the greatest noises ever. But yeah, so that's just about it for the video. I think I covered everything. I don't really know whether I talked too much about it or covered everything I like, but I covered most things I like: the looks and sounds and the important stuff that really matters to me about them. But yeah, so that's rewards without premium, which kind of is terrible. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Be sure to look out for the next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.